South Africa, we are here today at the Greyville golf field. Mkhwanazi, and president of the MK party. Njengamanje ngiphethe ama-MPs of the MK party itself. We just want to find out what are their thoughts on all these explosive revelations that were made by the PC of the province, Mr. Mkhwanazi. So I'll start on my left-hand side. If you can give us your name and surname.
It's Vispin Reddy. I'm with MK deployed in the National Assembly. And you are quite correct. The information that was released by General Mkhwanazi was explosive, and I think every South African needs to take cognizance of what is really going on here. Because what he has exposed is a level of capture that we have never seen in this country before. Although it's been existing, we see that people like Brian Mkhwanazi, who is at the center of all of this, it's now revealed that he is a very close confidant of Mr. Ramaphosa. During the CR17 campaign, he led the CR17 lobby group in Northwest Province. And it is very disingenuous of the Minister of Police, who himself was a lobbyist of the CR17 in KwaZulu-Natal, to say in Parliament that he's never heard of Brian Mkhwanazi. And then he goes on later to change his mind this week and to say, no, he knows him, he is a comrade. Now let's understand what is being revealed here. It says that the police, who are meant to protect us as citizens, are now captured by certain politicians. It means that all these political killings that have been taking place in the province, especially the province of KwaZulu-Natal, they seem to have stemmed out of the internal factions within the ANC. So it was not just about money that flowed into CR17 campaign, but it seems that the characters that were involved are people that were dealing in drugs, because we've heard that drugs were being sent from the harbour of Durban to Johannesburg, and they were getting protection at the very highest level. We as MK Party, we have stated quite categorically, our member David Skosana, who is on the Police Portfolio Committee, has already charged the Minister of Police, because the Minister of Police has proven that he is not only a liar, but he is somebody who has actually betrayed the people of this country. Where he's meant to protect them, he's now working in cahoots with high-level criminals who should be behind bars. So we're saying that if anything, the Minister of Police should be behind bars. We note that the President is Mr. Ramaphosa, who is part of the CR17 campaign, is calling a conference this week where he wants to address the nation. Let me tell you, if he does not announce the suspension of the Minister of Police, there is nothing less than that can be accepted by South Africans. As MK Party, we are taking this matter now to the streets. We're calling on all South Africans, irrespective of your political affiliation, whatever organization you belong to. It's time that our voices must be heard, that we must get out there, and we need to send a strong, unequivocal message that as South Africans, we will not tolerate senior government officials like the Minister of Police betraying the trust, the confidence of South Africans.
Thank you so much. We'll come back to you in a minute. I'd like to hear from Dr. Hlophe himself as well. Dr. Hlophe, sibingelela we All News 24/7. Njengomuntu owazi kabanzi umthetho, you've been an advocate for so many years. What is your view on this story, on all these revelations that were made by Mkhwanazi?
First of all, Minister Mkhwanazi is a serial liar. Last year, put it this way, during the 7th Parliament, he has lied at least on 2 occasions. Firstly, he lied in broad daylight in Parliament. During question time, this was about 3-4 months ago, he gave us a non-existing number, which he claimed it was a hotline. And when our colleagues phoned in Parliament. That number does not exist.
It's a deadline.
It's a deadline. And then he ran out of Parliament together with his deputy on a pretext of attending to an emergency. To this very day, that number does not exist. It has not been verified. Secondly, and most importantly, when the child, Mkhwanazi, was sexually violated in the Eastern Cape, I was looking for the right word. When she was sexually violated in the Eastern Cape, this minister lied and said the DNA of the headmaster had already been obtained. Subsequent investigations revealed quite clearly that he was lying at the time when he made that statement. I personally raised this in Parliament during question time. I questioned the Deputy President, Mr. Paul Mashatile. I asked him about this. I specifically asked him, in the light of these lies, when is Minister Mkhwanazi going to be dismissed? He did not answer.
As an MK party, what are your plans regarding Mkhwanazi as Minister of Police himself? Do you have any maybe action in place whereby we've heard on the news, on the streets, that the MK party has apparently opened a case against is that correct?
It is true, we have opened a case, as Commander Vice Reddy has pointed out. It was opened by Mrs. Mkhwanazi, the MP, who is the commander in charge of the portfolio committee. The charge was related to defeating the ends of justice, and this was opened in Pretoria, Brooklyn Police Station in Pretoria. We intend as well having a press statement next week outlining exactly what our course of action is going to be. But as Commander Reddy has pointed out, this is a matter we're taking very seriously. We're going to call for Mr. Mkhwanazi's head. He doesn't deserve to be a minister. He is definitely not minister's material. He has lied. He belongs to prison.
Lastly, we're moving on to MP Madlala. I'd like to hear from him. MP Madlala, what would you like to see Minister of Police
from yesterday, esifisa ukuthi angene ejele aboshwe ngoba akekho fit for minister and ama-duties ubominister kawazi, so ubhizi sekwenza ukukhohlakala kanti abantu base-South Africa bayashophela. Mkhwanazi wenza inhlenhle ezumkhonto wesizwe, siyamsupporta 100%, and uDavid Skhosana, our member of parliament who's sitting in the portfolio committee of police, wenza inhlenhle, sasupporta sonke umkhonto wesizwe, savula icase ukuthi umchunu nje akafanga bangasekho eseparliament uhlele ejele phakathi. Ayikho into esoyikhuluma nayo ngoba akanama-qualities okuba uminister.
Can I hear from yourself? I just want to close up by saying, or rather by asking the commander here next to me, regarding Mkhwanazi, our PC, now there are talks or rather rumors saying that he might not come back, or they might not renew his contract. What would you say, or how would you support as an MK party? How would you support him to say, or maybe to get to the president to say, no, we need him back, because now people are saying he has brought back the dignity of the police, especially here in KwaZulu-Natal.
Mkhwanazi is now the only hope for all peace-loving South Africans, and he stands as a beacon of that kind of hope. So what surprised us as MK is the reaction by certain forces, particularly like Paul O'Sullivan, who himself has a very shady history. And let's understand what is going on here. Black excellence in this country has always been a threat to white dominance. And if you go back in history, even our Commander Shlope himself, he has been a victim of this. You need to be able to have some grey matter between your ears to be able to see what the hidden agenda is of white people in this country. They see a threat in any black person who is intelligent, who understands the deep, the deep agenda of this country, and that has been evident, especially around the criticisms that have been leveled against Mkhwanazi, coming from someone like Paul O'Sullivan. We also find that this is nothing new. General Mkhwanazi has raised concerns about the disbandment of the political killings task team, which happened under very nefarious conditions. Because for one, a task team that has an impressive track record of putting criminals behind bars, finding drug lords and arresting them, instead of going and praising them and encouraging them to continue with their work, you want to now go and disband them. That is something that's mind-boggling, and every South African needs to be concerned about this. That's why we're saying as MK, let's put the politics aside now. Let's look at South Africa. Let's put South Africa first. So this is not about politics. This is about justice. It's about ensuring that the safety of our citizens is paramount. Now, you know the issue of drugs, which is affecting our country in a very bad way. What is worse is to find that politicians at a very high level, like that they are involved in protecting these drug lords. What does it mean for us as a country, Judge? What does it mean? It simply means that we have no safety net to protect our children from drugs.
It's about our safety, it's about our future. As far as MK is concerned, Mkhwanazi is a model policeman. I wish all policemen and women would be like Mkhwanazi. If every policeman and policewomen were like Mkhwanazi, there would be no crime in this country. As and when crime, especially organized crime, involving senior politicians, law enforcement officials, especially those kind of crimes, and especially where drugs are involved, if all policemen can behave like Mkhwanazi, there will be no crime in this country. There will be prosperity. We'll all be living in harmony and not in fear.
So we will protect Mkhwanazi. We stand with him. We say hands off Mkhwanazi. We will raise the masses in this country to stand up.
You had it yourself. Strong views there from the MPs of the MK. As we all know, whereby the family meeting and would like to see what's the outcome of that. And last one, gentlemen, before we let you go, there's been a
Pansi Cyril Ramaphosa, pansi. Amandla. Down with the Mkhunu, down.
What do you think? What do you think will be the outcome of the family meeting on Sunday? As you all know, the president of the country has called the family meeting on Sunday.
Yes, this president has no balls. And the fact of the matter is, he's never ever dealt with anything decisively in this country where he ought to have. So we don't expect anything, fireworks from this Sunday. If anything, he will protect people like Brian Mkhwanazi. He will protect Mkhunu, because these were his henchmen. These were his henchmen during the CR17 campaign. I have no doubt that Mkhunu and Mkhwanazi, they were used to raise money for the CR17 campaign. Are you okay? Yes. So they were used to raise money for the CR17 campaign. I have no doubt about that. So he's going to come there to protect Mkhunu, who is his blue-eyed boy.
Some would say leave a room for disappointment as our president is expected to speak to the country on Sunday.
He is a president with no balls. He has not ever taken any decisions. He cannot make decisions. In fact, it's largely because of him that the country is going down a slippery road at the moment, and our people are constantly in a worse off situation than they were 10 years ago.
So I should say we're all looking for Sunday to hear what the president
It'll
has
be
to
a
say.
damn squib.
If a president, lo muntu enibizwa ngopresident Ramaphosa, eke wangamkhipha umchunu ukuba uminister ngoba akaqualify ukuba uminister. uzosiphoqa thina ezimkhonto wesizwe party and bonke abantu base South Africa ukuthi siye ground siyosho ukuthi asamdingi thina umculo ngoba ucompromise ikusasa ley'ngane zethu. Iy'ngane zethu manje seyibhizi kuma-drugs ngenxa kasenzo umculo. Mkhwanazi ufikela lokho. Phakama Mkhwanazi, phakama.